Hello, this is Telomere and welcome to another repair video. In this video, we are going to be looking at a PlayStation 5, and this PlayStation 5 has a problem with its HDMI port. Let me show you. I gotta say, this is probably the worst I've ever seen. A pair of tweezers in here and just show you. I mean, like, look at it. Look how beat up that thing is. But it's not just that it's beaten up looking. I'm pretty sure it's loose. You see that right there? Oh, man. The port itself, though, like this, the shell, that's not loose. This part's not loose. This may turn out to be a relatively simple, repair. It might just be a quick swap. I was concerned, and I'm still a little bit concerned, that there might have been some problems with some traces that have been lifted, pads lifted, you know, torn traces. That's what I've been concerned about. If that's not the case, it's going to be a lot simpler. Hopefully that is the case. I'm going to start getting this apart. I'm going to mount this camera somewhere so you guys can watch. Let's get to it. I've already taken all the screws out. I don't see any other ones. So let's start prying this up. Now there will be a little bit of trouble. Bottom right corner right here, you have the connector for what goes into the power supply. And it can be quite a pain to get out sometimes. So the easiest way is just to get some sort of plastic pry tool, and you just twist it up slowly, carefully, just like that. It's free. Once it's free like that, it should come out very easily. There we have it. There is quite the dry spot on that. We'll see what we can do about that. Let's see what's happening with... Oh gosh. Look at it. I didn't even notice. The whole thing just fell out. Oh man. You see? It just fell out, the whole thing. I think we got lucky. I don't see anything torn. It doesn't look like anything's been torn. I might be wrong about that. Is the little capacitor here gone? It is. I just recently bought a little packet of capacitors to replace this little guy. I think it's gone. So I should be in the clear for that. I'm going to put this up to 480 degrees Celsius and basically as high and fast of a air speed as I can go. Let's put something underneath this to catch it. I don't want it falling in my lap. Should not need any flux with this. Actually, I could use some tweezers to hold it. Just poke at it once in a while. You'd also want to go around and just get the entire board-ish, like the general area, just to make sure that you're not going to end up warping something. It's a thick board. Keep that in mind. Fortunately, the only pads we need to really heat up are those big ground spots, but I mean those are the ones that take the most effort. I'd usually go and add some leaded solder to these, but my mind's not on that right now. I'm just going to see if I can get it off without adding any leaded solder. If I can, great. If not, well, oh well. There we have it. So it is out. Is it ever in bad shape? So how is this looking? Let's grab myself some tweezers and let's poke around. That's just factory flux. Now let's take a look through these pads and what's going on there? That's a little bit odd. Looks like there's some sort of mark or scratch on the board right there, and right here as well. I'm gonna guess that's from the port being forced back. This right here, that looks like that's a pad missing. That's a data line. And right here as well, that's a pad missing as well. I think that this one is ground. Yeah, just like these. You can see where they pulled out into the back, into the ground plane. So this one right too, I just need to scratch a little away from right here, and then I can put a line right here to go and connect that to its proper place. The other one might be a little bit more difficult, but basically there's a via right here. I'm thinking I'm just going to grind that spot, and I'm going to go and put a wire down there to do it. I think that'll work
pretty well. I got to figure out what's up with these marks here and there. So how I'm going to clean this up is I'm going to put down some leaded solder and give it a good clean. I'm going to flood these anchor points as well with some leaded solder as well, and then we can clear everything out. Okay, I don't think I need flux, but I'm going to put a bunch of flux down too. Why not? We also have, I can see also that, right, it's kind of buried now, but there is also the capacitor that's normally there is missing. I'll show you what I'm talking about in a bit. Just let's get some. Oh, I gotta open a window and I gotta go and turn on my vent. Vent is on. Let's get some solder in there. I'm gonna start off with just sweeping it across the whole thing. Why not? Let's start off with that first. I'm gonna be clearing it all off afterwards, anyways. Look at that, just big drill blob right there. I'll put the rest inside one of these holes over here. I really should have heated this up a little first. Instead, I'm just gonna let it sit here, and at some point I should see it pull in, but because I forgot to preheat the board, I'm basically heating up the board first with my soldering iron before it's going to move on and actually suck up that solder. I also am curious to see if any other pads come up. I need to know if I'm going to have another rip pad that it's not like completely connected to the board anymore. So that's another concern. Piece of braided wick. I'm going to start off by getting rid of what's on the pins first. Maybe I might heat this up with the... I'm going to heat this up first. I want to put a bunch of heat in the board. I'm going to set my my heat gun to 480 degrees Celsius at like maybe 90 degree, what do you call it? 90% airspeed. Just moving around real quick. I want to get this board heated up so it's easier to get all that solder out of the joints. Here, I'll just push it over so you can see what I'm trying to do. Those joints, I need them shiny. Alright, that should be enough. A little bit more flux. I should have cleaned off the old flux that was already there. I'm not particularly happy about not having changed that out. It's not going to be as nice. Okay, I don't see any other pads that are damaged. It seems to be just those two. So let's get these pads cleaned out. I don't know how well this is going to work, but I'll try. I'm going to use the heat gun as well, just to really enforce this. Try to speed this up. My wick's saturated. I'll have to flip the board over to get the rest from the other side. Right, I can't get it out for the life of me. So what I'm going to do is I've got a solder sucker. It's not the best solder sucker in the world, but it works kind of well enough, I guess. I'll put it to the side for now, my wick, and I'm gonna use a hot air gun and my solder sucker, and just hopefully we can get these final remnants out. And hopefully I'm not going to take that cap off the board. It's not a cap, it's something like an inductor. No, I don't know what it is. You can see it though, right? Nice! Oh, that was satisfying. I really need to get a better one. There, everything's cleaned out. So we got a little bit of a mess on the back of the board here, so let's get this cleaned up quick. I got a toothbrush, I've got a paper towel, we're going to dab this away. Okay, let's flip this over. Yeah, it's a pretty nasty looking mess right now, isn't it? Let's see how much we can get this cleaned up. It's all kind of it's not exactly cold anymore, but it's not cold, but I mean it's not hot anymore, you know? Definitely not what you'd say anywhere near like perfect with this kind of stuff either. Let's get this heated up at least to some degree, and we'll just get this cleaned up, maybe with a cotton swab. This is one of the reasons why it's a really good idea to like clean as you go. Whenever you see old flux, clean it off. And by doing that, like what you're doing when you do that is you prevent the flux from burning onto the board and just becoming really hard to clean up later. Which is exactly what's happened right here. I'm disappointed in myself. I should have been cleaning as I've been going, but I wasn't. Fine, I'll deal with it. It's not bad. It's not terrible. There's a little bit of gunk around these edges here. The reason I'm cleaning this off is because I need the metal to be visible in order for this to clean up well later on. It doesn't matter. I'm going to be putting in more solder in there anyways. So what's going on here? I think that's just a scratch, but it's still fine. That's a scratch as well, and that could be a break. I don't think it is, but that one could be a break. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an X-Acto knife and maybe I'll just take a little off the via there and see whether or not I have a connection, if I've got some continuity between that and this. I've decided that I'm going to put the capacitor that's supposed to go on there, I'm going to put that on after I put the HDMI port in place. So that's what I'm going to do there. Then after I got that done, I'm going to go over to these two pads and we're going to get those two pads cleaned up, and I'm going to have to grind away at that via, and I'm going to just maybe clean up that piece of copper right there, maybe a little bit further out than that, and we should be good. So we're going to just do this in time lapse, because I don't see a better way to do this. So let's get started. Well, that didn't take long. Just going to use a little bit of alcohol to clean that up. Next, we're going to get some solder on those. I usually find that it works well with the wire. If you grab some, what I'm using is, I think it's 0.1 millimeter wire, and I grab it with the tweezers. I don't use my fingers at this point. Oh, I need to do two things. I need to get some lead on those pads. I gotta tin those pads first, and then after that, I'll go from there. That means I need flux. So let's get this all. Yeah, lots. Fill up those holes as well with some good leaded solder. I want to make sure the whole board is, not the whole board, at least the area that I'm working in. You know, you really want to distribute the heat a bit first before you start focusing in. And that's just to prevent basically heat shock. You don't want your board to bubble. I mean, this is a very thick board. If it bubbles, you're in trouble. Alright, I think we're up to temperature. Should be good. Board's warm. More flux. Fresh flux. Now we're going to fill those holes all up and make it nice. That's about as good as I can do. Give this good cleaning. Very nice. Look at that. Cleaned up decently well. Except around that not that capacitor. What do you call it? Is it an inductor, an inverter? What are these things up here? I just want to get around those corners. Now I wanted to break out the multimeter, and I just wanted to put it into continuity mode and test a few spots here. I want to make sure that there is a path going through these spots. You put them together, they beep. So, looking here, these two spots, for example, that should be, oh yeah, that's the capacitor. Of course there would be a little, it should be fine. Or my brain was going. It was this one that I was worried about. and it's perfectly happy. Okay, how about this? Well, I have no way to test that one because, well, no, you know where that one's going. Where's my brain? I think that's really all I needed to worry about. I think everything else is fine. Okay, we're good. We are good. I'm going to go and lay some wires down. Now let's tin this wire. And I'm just thinking about this now. But if there's any of the equipment, the supplies, or tools, whatever you want to call it, that I am using in my video, or any of my videos, generally speaking, I do have Amazon affiliate links in the video description, so if you want any of that, you can find them down there. Now, I should say also for those links, I do make a tiny fractional amount of money when you use those links that are in the video description as well. Okay. Now, it's in place, kind of. I just want to take my tweezers and just hold it in place and just try tacking it down just a little bit better. I think that this pad isn't even needed in the first place because it is just ground. But I'm doing it not just because, oh, there's a pad missing, I should, fix it. I'm doing it for practice. Because I'm you probably can tell, I'm not perfect at this. I'm not an expert. I'm like vaguely intermediate at doing this job. I don't know how else to put it. I'm still learning. You guys maybe you guys are learning alongside me, no? And if you are, well, I'm happy to see you guys along there with me. Oh, I need to tin this first. What I want to do is I want to hold it down with the soldering iron. Once I got it held down with that, I would like to hold it down better with my tweezers. How about that? How about that? How about that? Is that not bad? It's better. Just, it isn't tacking down at all. Is it there now? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, that's a good, solid. That's good and solid. Okay. It goes right about here. So I'm gonna cut it right about. The moment I get the money for it, I'm definitely going to be buying Northridge Fix's anti-glare light thing and and his microscope. I've always really liked it, and I won't say that I'm envious of him for it. I'm just seeing it and realizing the potential usefulness of it, and would love to be able to get one for myself. That cleaned up, pal. Let's just make sure everything is still in place. Is it still fine? I think it is. Yeah. This one isn't really all that important, as I said. It's just a ground pin. It doesn't really matter. But for the sake of experience, we're doing it anyways. Okay, we're on to the next step. I gotta switch away from the microscope and use my camera instead because it just won't get far enough away for you guys to see. So let's switch over. Tossing on. We don't need a whole lot. We're tossing on some flux. Heat the board up. I'm gonna put the temperature. What? 50. Mine goes from I think 0 to 120. I think is what it is. So I think 60 would be considered 50% airspeed. So let's get this melted first. Get these little guys all liquid, and then I'm going to move on. And this one I'm going to be heating from the bottom. Just looking for these little guys to go shiny for me. And where is my... There it is. There's my port. And I've already got the port tinned, so that's all nice and good. Right, they're nice and shiny now. I've been told that the ground plane on the left side of this port is thicker than on the right side, so the right side will generally go liquid first before the left does. Okay, I think we got it. We got both sides. We got both sides, guys. We got both sides. Yeah, now I'm going to take it off. I'm forgetting about the fact that I need solder on, not solder, flux on this. Get the port ready. Grab it with my tweezers, and let's get in there again. Heat it back up. Yeah, I dropped it. Switching to below because I should have been doing that in the first place. I can't see behind. All I can do is hope. You gotta keep the heat on it too. I'm pressing lightly on top, just keeping the heat on. I gotta get the port up to temperature and then off the heat. I moved it slightly. Let's just get it back up to temp. I just want to give this a budge back. Okay. See how that did.
Well, unfortunately, I somehow lost the audio for this little bit here. Not a big deal, because what actually happens here, as you can see, is pretty straightforward. All I needed to do was put in a wire right here, because the other just didn't work. And I put it on this via, and I'm just attaching it directly. And after that, I just give it a good clean. Next, we move on to that little tiny capacitor that's just above those two pins there, and get those attached in there, soldered in. It was a little bit of a hassle trying to get that installed there, but we got it. So moving on with life. Finally, a quick pin check, and everything is good and solid. Then we drop on some solder mask and get that all cured and good and solid there as well. Now, the liquid metal that's on the CPU here, or the GPU, I guess, or APU? APU. It was really bad. There was quite a dark spot on there. It was very dried up, very, very bad dry spot. So I'm just cleaning this up, making sure it's good and clean and nice and liquidy, and I got rid of all that corrosion. So it'll be a nice, good, proper, solid connection for transferring all that heat.
I'm ready. Ready to put it back in place and test this out. I think this is good enough for now. I'm going to put the cables that I need to put in. We're just testing at this point. Do I need to connect? I don't think I need the fan. I just need to turn this on and test. So I'm going to plug it in. We'll see what happens. Slid in very comfortably. I now have it set over here to HDMI. Now it's trying to connect, but I haven't turned the system on yet. So press the button. I want to see that switch over to white. Now it may have been unplugged the last time, so it might go through a pulse cycle. There we go, it just turned white. What do we see here? Yes! Oh yeah! That's what I want to see. So it is good. This is going to start heating up. So it's not dreadfully warm right now, but yeah, it's doing stuff. It's gone through its restart process. It's going to go back to the white, and there we go. That is exactly what I wanted to see. I'm going to press the power button to turn this off now. PlayStation 5 is turned off. Very good. Plug it. I'm going to get the rest of these screws in place. There's something that I just wanted to bring to attention. There's a little like blob thing right here. You need to get this aligned for this to all align up properly. If that little ball there doesn't go in properly, then the board is not going to sit flat and it's not going to go back together. So I got to make sure that that is properly aligned first before I can go any further. Well, we're pretty much done. I've given this a bit more of a cleaning, just basically wiped it down. But yeah, that's about as good as you can do. Just slipping these in place and giving it a whack. All I have left to do now is just give it one final test. Let me see if I can angle that so you guys can see the light from it. I think that is right here. Yeah, right here. There's the white light. And there we go. Working great. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to be. So that's all there is to this video, guys. We got it all done and dusted and all fixed up, even despite a couple of torn traces. I'm pleased with the increase in my abilities for fixing those traces.
It was a long go. First time, I think it took me 10 or 12 hours. So, if you guys like the video, please do leave a like, and if you want to see more of my stuff, subscribe. We'll see you guys all in another video. Bye.